This is the disturbing case of Kyle Massey, Disney to disgrace. Damn, bro. It's crazy seeing this dude's face, bro. Ain't seen Patrick CC in a bit. I think the last one that we did was like the Antonio Brown. I still forgot to upload that one. Yo, Joe, do you actually have a gym like a 9 to 5? Why you go live at 6 o'clock all the time? Nigga, that's because I started going to live at 6 o'clock all the time, my nigga. And then on top of that, during the day, I got shit to do. Like, I got a life to live, nigga. I got edits to make. I got clips to form. And literally, nigga, I like, God forbid a man have a schedule. Like I'm saying, nigga, like, in my life, I've never been asked why I go live at 6 o'clock. Like, what the fuck?
He went from Corey in the house to Corey facing the big house, as Kyle Massey, former Disney Channel star, was charged with sending explicit pictures of himself to a 13-year-old girl. But
this nigga did that? Nah, bro. Nah. Why is it always something around with Nickelodeon kids? Or like, whatever you want to call them, like, why is there always something with Nickelodeon kids, bro? Either something happened to them or they did something crazy. What? Like, yo.
Kyle claims that this was nothing more than an extortion attempt, even though his response had everyone scratching their head.
My response to those allegations are that, first off, we would need to go back.
Soon as he said first off,
yep, the moment that nigga said first off,
I knew my boy was lying. Kyle Massey is another classic example of our childhood nostalgia getting destroyed by adult criminal behavior. And today we are going to deep dive into the entire story because this one is unbelievable.
Nigga, this is Disney. Well, you know what I mean. Nickelodeon kids and Disney kids, like, nigga, if something happens to them or something, or like they go out and do something, bro. Like, come on, bro. Let's be realistic. You know what I mean, bro.
Massey's entry into the,
let's just say, TV show kids in the Nickelodeon. Nah, I don't know how to explain, nigga.
Entertainment industry wasn't fueled by ambition, nor was it a lifelong dream. Kyle was introduced to the business through his older brother Chris, who was best known for his role as Michael on the Nickelodeon sitcom Zoe 101.
Oh, I thought that was him the whole time.
Yeah, Zoe. That was tripping.
Kyle would tag along with his mother and his brother to auditions, which ultimately led to him auditioning and getting his first job.
It was his audition, and then they just pulled me in by accident. And once they tried to pull me in, my mom was like, "Oh, like, don't take him. Like, he not gonna act right." Yeah, my mom was like, "I don't want him ruining the chances for my son that can do the right."
This nigga don't look like me.
Thing,
so
right?
You acting crazy.
Yeah,
okay.
I was acting crazy. But they ended up pulling me in the audition. I ended up getting the job. And that
from
was
your brother? You took it from your brother?
Took it from my brother.
Hilarious. I didn't know that.
Crazy.
The family moved from Atlanta to Los Angeles.
I'm now thinking about, I miss watching That's So Raven. That's So Raven. I miss these shows, bro.
Where both brothers continued trying out for film and television. Kyle nearly landed the role of Beans on the Disney Channel show Even Stevens, but instead, the executive producers of Even Stevens were working on a show called That's So Raven and decided to give Kyle a role on that show, which ended up being one of the most successful shows in Disney Channel history. That's So Raven follows Raven Baxter, a teen girl who has psychic visions that sometimes predict the future. The show had a repetitive and predictable formula, but it was honestly genius. Every episode would essentially start with Raven having a vision of something bad, dangerous, scary, or awkward that might happen in the future. She would then spend the entire episode desperately trying to stop that outcome, only for her overreactions and interference to be the very thing that causes the vision to come true. But the reason why the show was so popular was less about the plot and more about Raven's chemistry with her best friends, Eddie and Chelsea, as well as her dynamic with her family, which included her younger brother Corey, played by Kyle Massey. Corey is introduced as a clever, mischievous kid who is always plotting on how to make quick money, impress his friends, or get one over on people.
That's a Raven! Mom? Dad?
Y'all really remember this episode, bruh.
Very similar to the character of Megan on Drake and Josh, Corey is super confident, sometimes cocky, often believing he's outsmarted everyone around him.
Hey, Corey, what's with the snorkel? How do you breathe?
I don't. That's kind of the point.
Raven and Corey's sibling rivalry revolves around the two constantly teasing and undermining one another, which felt like a relatable sibling experience that is rarely shown on TV.
Why do you always have to follow me?
mean? I was using your big head to block out the sun.
The only thing that made Corey unrealistic as a character is that he was way
night,
funnier
G-Ball.
and more charismatic than a real-life younger brother.
Hand over the phone, worm.
Bro, literally Corey was my favorite in That's So Raven, bro, because he was just like me, dude. A knucklehead little nigga just like me. Or acted the way I did.
The boy is good.
And my nickname isn't worm or maggot. It's Dr. Love.
But despite Corey and Raven constantly bickering and fighting, they have deep familial, unconditional love for each other.
Corey, I never thought I'd say this, but I'm so proud of you. I never thought I'd say this. Thanks for having my back.
That's So Raven was a massive hit from the beginning, debuting to 3.4 million viewers, which was higher than any Disney original series premiere at that time. It continued to grow drastically. Even a random episode deep into season 3 would secure as much as 5 million viewers. The show and cast were nominated for various awards over 30 times. They wrote books based around the show, sold video games, and even were nominated for 2 Emmys.
There was a video game? That's great.
After 100 episodes, That's So Raven redefined the Disney Channel, and executives were trying to milk Raven-Symoné's popularity for as long as possible, which ended up benefiting Kyle Massey significantly. Disney Channel executives pitched That's So Raven 2, which was going to be a show that follows Raven to college, but Raven had been working in the entertainment industry since she was 3 years old and wanted to retire by age 18, so she ultimately decided not to take on a new role, which forced the network to shift focus and develop a spin-off around Kyle Massey instead.
Do y'all think That's So Ravens 2 would have been a hit? Following Raven to college. Y'all think that would have been a hit? Or no? No? I think cause like Patrick Jix explained, I think the reason why That's So Raven was a hit was because like everything that like involved around Raven, like of course Raven and her character and everything like that, of course like she the primary, like she did her little business, but I'm saying like to add a little too extras or add a little spice to it was like all the characters like that formed around her. You know what I'm saying? The relationship with her brother, the relationship that she had with her friends, you know what I'm saying, the events that was going on during high school too. So I feel like if it was like going to follow her during college, I don't think it would have hit as good as it did in high school. Then on top of that, yeah.
Dead. But first, picture this. You're about to board a plane and you notice one of the engines is smoking. There's a good reason that you wouldn't trust that plane.
W, I love
San
you, Patrick.
Francisco and moves to Washington, D.C. to live in the White House. Corey's father, Victor Baxter, is hired as the personal chef to the President of the United States. As soon as he gets there, Corey wastes no time getting into trouble. But the chaos is more ridiculous because they are inside the most powerful government building in the world.
And there's the steak.
All right, back up. I've got some work to do, okay? I am going to fix this with Krama Parum's old-timey Bahavian stain remover. A splash of yak milk.
Corey's plans usually clash with the strict rules and routines of presidential life, leading to comedic situations involving Secret Service agents and the presidential family.
He could lick my hand all day.
I ain't lie, boy. You better get to licking. Get to licking, boy.
While Corey in the House was not as popular nor culturally iconic as That's So Raven, it maintained solid cable.
Why was he even in the White House? Because his father worked in the White House. And so basically, like Patrick said before, they was gonna make her That's So Raven 2, but since Raven went away, so they formed the show around Kyle. And since so they was gonna keep it still like in the That's So Raven's universe, if that makes sense. And so yeah, his father worked at the White House, and so one of Kyle's roles in That's So Raven was like he was like a knucklehead type of little brother, always getting in trouble or like doing this or doing that. And so they just followed the same thing. And so yeah, whatever. What position was his father? I think it was like a cook or something.
Ratings. Sometimes it would rank as the network's most watched show for that week. The show was originally planned for 3 seasons, however, during the filming of a season 2 episode in which Corey goes overboard on a large boat, an accident occurred. Because the boat was rented, the crew couldn't make the usual modifications to ensure safety while filming. The plan was for Kyle to say his lines at the edge of the boat, then a stunt person would step in to leap off the side of the boat and drop onto a stack of thick padded mats below. Instead, Kyle jumped over the edge of the boat himself. Kyle thought it would be really funny if he did the fall. When Kyle fell off the boat, he hit the mat at an angle, rolling off and smashing his head on the concrete soundstage floor. He was rushed to the hospital. Once medically cleared, Massey returned to shoot more episodes for the season, but the show would ultimately be canceled for other reasons. And that's because at this time, the 2007 and 8 Writers Guild of America strike began, where TV and film writers refused to work due to being paid scraps compared to the massive profits the studios were making. The strike lasted 100 days and brought Hollywood to a standstill. Television shows shut down production, seasons got...
Bro, you mean them niggas always going on strike, bro? Would you put in your blood, sweat, and tears just for, like, baby change, nigga? You gonna strike for it?
Shortened or canceled, and scripted TV mostly disappeared for months while reality shows rushed in to fill the gap. Cory in the House was one of those shows that essentially ended because of the strike. In the end, Disney Channel aired 34 episodes of the show, but now Kyle Massey's future in Hollywood was uncertain. Like many child stars, Kyle was too associated with his youthful...
I always wanted to do that when I was a kid. You see these people come on and do the Disney. I always wanted to do that Disney wand, man.
Exaggerated, safe, Disney-like persona, making it difficult for studios to cast him or market him as an adult. In 2010, he competed on the 11th season of Dancing with the Stars, where he and professional partner Lacey Schwimmer finished as runners-up in the competition. Still eager for work, he ended up taking on more family-friendly type jobs, securing a role on a Disney animated series called Fish Hooks, where he voiced a fish named Milo. The show ran...
He voiced Milo? What? Yo, this is why I dead actually start like looking into like voice actors. Cause one thing I'll watch a TV show and let's say it uses voice actors. I don't necessarily go out my way to like go find the voice actors for that TV show or anything like that. Whatever it's for a movie, TV show, anime, whatever it is. Like I necessarily just don't go out my way to find it for a voice actor. So damn, this is actually kind of crazy finding out like through this video, bro. Damn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Who's that knocking at my door? 5, 6, 7, 8. Hurry up and don't be late. I love Fish Hooks, bro.
From 2010 to 2014, which was a consistent paycheck, but not exactly an illustrious Hollywood career. And like other former Disney stars, the press becomes thirsty for a shock-driven narrative. Leaked photos, exaggerated scandals, and rumors so they can say, remember this kid? Look how far they've fallen. Desperate for drama, rumors persisted that Kyle was dying from cancer. Kyle told ET, overnight it was trending on Twitter that I'm dying of cancer. I want to say first, I do not have cancer, and I don't know where this inconsiderate and insensitive rumor originated from. And looking back on this, I think another reason why rumors were being spread about Kyle Massey was because of his developing close relationship with Justin Bieber. Justin and Kyle developed a bond over them both being famous since a very young age.
Why are you always so burnt is what I want to know.
Shut up, bro. I'm not burnt, nigga. Burnt niggas don't eat filet.
Justin was likely a huge help in launching Kyle's rap career because his acting career wasn't working out. He got roles in a few direct-to-DVD films and TV shows like the superhero crime drama Gotham, as well as a recurring role in Cartoon Network's Mighty Magus Words. But Kyle still had the...
This nigga was in Gotham? Now, granted, it's been a minute since I watched the TV show Gotham, but this nigga was in Gotham? You just learned this. Yes, I'm just learning this, bro. I don't look into certain shit.
Jovial, lovable kid persona and round baby face even as he aged into adulthood. And since he wasn't able to prove that he was all grown up on TV, he decided to pursue music, uploading hip-hop tracks to SoundCloud where he raps about having sex with women and getting money.
Niggas, they see me, I forward my motion, I'm dropping these hits while they flopping. Yo, give me sloppy toppy.
Now I'm assuming that him becoming essentially a part of Justin Bieber's entourage is what helped him get connected with very successful artists, because he had a relative amount of success in music. He produced a song called Hard Work for French Montana in 2015, as well as featured on a song called Syrup with Soulja Boy.
No, let me see something. Let me see what y'all talking about. Let me see what niggas talking about, bro. Let me see what niggas talking about. See what niggas talking about. See what niggas talking about. Where do I gotta skip to like hear Kyle rapping? And why the Wi-Fi slow? Damn!
Just shot at a black man and took his shoe.
Okay, this is not the... Bro, where's the actual one, bro? I'm not gonna lie. Where's the actual one, bro? Where's the actual one, dude? Where's the actual one? Oh my gosh, did it get taken down?
Then again, the rapper lifestyle can come with its own set of risks, and Kyle and his brother Chris would find that out the hard way. Chris was also frequently posted up in the studio
Here it is. Okay, finally, I got it.
with rappers and producers. At this point, I'm not sure if he was actually making
Okay.
My young nigga about to pull up with some serve. I give money, nigga, fuck what you heard. I give money on the first, second, and the third. My young nigga about to pull up with some serve. My young nigga about to pull up with some serve. I give money, nigga, fuck what you heard. I give money on the first, second, on the third. My young nigga about to pull up with some serve. I get money, nigga, for what's it hurt? My young
yeah.
making any music, or if he was just in there for the lifestyle, but he was definitely entrenched in the music industry. And in November of 2014, Chris Massey was throwing a party at his penthouse apartment when he asked rapper Lil Twist to leave following an argument. Twist reportedly left, but returned roughly 30 minutes later with 4 other men and forced their way back inside. Once inside, they attacked Chris, reportedly beating him with brass knuckles, humiliating him, and stealing his wallet and cell phone. Chris required medical attention for his injuries, but denied speaking to the media. Twist was charged with 6 felonies, including burglary, battery, grand theft, criminal threats, and multiple counts of assault with a deadly weapon. He eventually pleaded no contest, but was sentenced to 1 year in jail in 2016. Followed by probation. It was now the mid-2010s and Kyle Massey was stuck in a situation most people can't relate to. His full-time job at this point seemed to be flying around the world with Justin Bieber, going to shows and concerts with him, partying with rappers and models, and witnessing the business deals Bieber was securing. Kyle was living the lifestyle of being extremely famous and successful, but as we know, he didn't have any current major film or TV roles to justify cozying up with the Kardashians, but rather that he was tagging alongside the biggest pop star of the 2010s. However, that almost changed in the summer of 2015 when Raven-Symoné and the original main cast of That's So Raven reunited in an appearance on The View. Notice how the interviewer asks what Kyle is working on, but he doesn't answer the question.
Actually, since That's So Raven, you went on to do a bunch of other shows and you came in second place on Dancing with the Stars, which was like awesome. So exciting. What are you working on now?
Well, I mean, I have a lot of different projects.
Wow, that nigga shook ass. Hey man, gotta do it how you gotta do it.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
People suspected that since the cast was reunited and Disney Channel was leaning into reboots after finding success with Girl Meets World, that maybe a That's So Raven reboot was coming, and we would later find out that it was. Only Kyle was not going to be invited. Even worse, he would also be accused of promising a 13-year-old girl that he could get her a role on that show and would be charged with sending explicit pictures of himself to that child. The victim, who wasn't named due to her age, claimed she met Kyle when she was 4 years old, meaning Kyle was 18 or 19 and 2 years removed from the end of Corey in the House. Interested in pursuing a career in entertainment, she remained in contact with him and Massey became close with her and her family. He later suggested that she travel from Seattle, Washington to live with him and his girlfriend in LA. The girl and her mother say Kyle held himself out as a father figure to her, and their contact increased in November 2018 when the girl expressed interest in a role on the rebooted version of That's So Raven. Raven's Home was the official spin-off that premiered in the summer of 2017. And
so you telling me this nigga thought to himself, okay, so I see that she want to pursue acting and she want to be on the reboot of That's So Raven. So, hey, I can get you on That's So Raven if you give me a little something. And that's what was going through his head? Bro, that nigga's disgusting, bro.
Followed a similar plot as the original. Raven Baxter is now an adult single mother living in Chicago with her twin children, Booker and Nia, who have inherited her psychic abilities. The show reunites Raven with her best friend Chelsea and her father Victor, along with appearances by many other familiar characters from the original series. However, Orlando Brown and Kyle Massey were left out. Massey told Perez Hilton, as far as That's So Raven 2, I'm not really sure what part I will play in the show, if any. I spoke with Raven a few weeks ago, but we haven't officially secured anything yet. I would always be down to do a guest spot on her show. Raven can make it happen. Hell, who knows? I might have to bring Corey in the house back with a fake Donald Trump as president.
Yeah,
you never know. Just know it's always a party when you get the gang back together. It was clear that Kyle Massey didn't just want this opportunity, he needed it. However, he would never get a role on Raven's Home, nor would he get a reboot of his own show. And maybe that's a good thing. Massey's contact with the underage victim increased heavily in November of 2018 because during that same month, the third season of Raven's Home planned on adding several new female characters ranging from 11 to 13 years old. Because Kyle had been a part of the original show, the alleged victim likely assumed that he had the connections necessary to help her get a role. And this is when Kyle contacted the girl's mother to invite the girl to stay with him and his girlfriend in Los Angeles so he could help her find an agent. However, a month later, he allegedly added the girl as a friend on Snapchat and shortly after sent her numerous explicit text messages, images, and videos.
That is fucking disgusting, man. The girl saw an opportunity, so she thought she could text you to help her get up, to help her. Oh my God, no, like it just, bro. I'm saying these Hollywood niggas, these Hollywood niggas is nasty, son. The girl texted you in hopes she can get connects through you. And you told the mother, yeah, bro, just come on, just invite over. I mean, she can stay in my crib with my girlfriend. And this nigga later added her on Snapchat just to send some dicks. Bro, this dude is nasty, bro. They not going to Hollywood to make it famous. They going to get nasty. It's just wicked.
When the allegations went public, Massey firmly denied any wrongdoing. No child should ever be exposed to explicit materials, and I unequivocally and categorically deny any alleged misconduct. He stated that in early 2019, the plaintiff's attorneys demanded $1.5 million and threatened to go public and damage his career if he refused to comply. My family and I reject this extortion attempt because I have faith that the legal process will reveal the truth. In response to the allegations, Kyle Massey's mother, Angel Massey, also took to social media to advocate for her son, using the hashtag #HeToo. Where's the justice for men? Women get to say stuff and do what they want and file lawsuits under Jane Doe. No.
Imagine being a mother and you have full faith and trust in your son after what he said, saying, yo, this is not true, mother. I didn't do it. I didn't send my meat. And so you going out your own way to help your son clear his name and then later find out that this nigga lied to you. Oh my gosh.
Oh, the mother's name is Kendra Andreas. My son's name is Kyle Massey. Kendra is another mother like me. Why does she not list her name in her complaint? This is hashtag #HeToo. From there, Angel posted a few screenshots of several media outlets' coverage of the allegations against her son. Kyle Massey was accused of sending an inappropriate picture of his penis to a minor. The second image of this post, from her attorneys to me and Kyle's dad, clearly says Kyle sent the picture to Miss Andreas. Her daughter's last name is different. Kendra Andreas is a liar. Angel appears to suggest that the explicit material that Kyle sent was directed to the teen girl's mother and
I added the shade room. Are we dead ass?
Not the child. But we wouldn't get any closure on this case until 2 years later when the allegations resurfaced again in June of 2021, when he was charged with one count of immoral communication with a minor. The felony charge was filed in King County, Washington. Massey responded in a statement through his attorney, "It is unfortunate that Kyle Massey had to learn through the media yesterday that the 2019 allegations have resurfaced in the state of Washington, a year after their dismissal. Massey's team alleged that the accusers were attempting to use the Washington courts as a platform for revenge after losing the civil matter in California. According to Massey's legal team, Kyle was never properly served or notified about this charge by the court, which is why when he didn't show up for his arraignment on July 13th, a King County judge issued a $100,000 arrest warrant, drawing even more attention to the case. Public court records later indicated that the warrant remains active, but there are no publicly available records confirming that Massey was ever taken into custody on that warrant. He said, "The date and time that they claimed they arrested me, I just so happened to be filming a TV show with the production timestamp in front of 200 witnesses." Basically, Massey is accusing the courts of lying and creating a fake arrest. According to Massey, he has never been provided booking photos, fingerprints, or jail documentation that would normally accompany an arrest. He said, "After that, they basically used that fake arrest to get me my court date that I didn't show up to that got me to my warrant." Whether this reflects an error made by the courts, a miscommunication communication between agencies or a corrupt system out to get him remains unclear. But this discrepancy became central to his defense. And in a shocking twist that nobody expected, Kyle actually claimed that he was the victim of abuse from the mother of the girl that was pressing charges against him.
That mother had an inappropriate relationship with me since I was a kid, when I was 15. Now I can sit here and I can like look at you and say it without breaking down, but you gotta understand, this was like one of the hardest moments in my life, because the person that took advantage of me when I was a child is now painting me as the predator.
According to his lawyer, Ariel Mitchell, Massey
Yeah, bro. I'm telling you, dude. These Nickelodeon stars, Disney Channel stars, it's like, bro, it's either something happens to them, bro, they go through something traumatic, or they do something traumatic to somebody else, dude. Like, oh my gosh. This dude got touched, and now he just reciprocating that and touching somebody else when they... Oh my gosh, bro.
He met the mother, Kendra Andreas, in California in 2007, 2 years before the mother claims that they met and when the actor was just 15. The claims that Massey portrayed himself as a father figure to her child are misleading, arguing that it was Miss Andreas who wanted him to fill that role. Even in the police statement, the mother says Mr. Massey was promising her, the mother, to marry her, the mother, and for them to move. The lawyer also referenced a potential witness who claimed the mother said that she was trying to get that Disney money and eventually have a baby with the actor. Kyle defended his relationship with the daughter by claiming he had a history of mentoring and supporting aspiring performers. And I did it just out of the grace of my heart, just because I know how much I've been helped along my path. So as far as this girl, the whole me helping her situation was just another person that I was trying to help. Massey reiterated that he has been famous since the age of 8. He said that when he was a 16-year-old superstar and among the most famous African Americans in the country, he frequently met 12-year-olds with dreams, adding that many of those individuals later found success, which he attributed to his guidance. But then his story slightly changed, going from this is absolute nonsense extortion to, well, it was an accident. Kyle acknowledged accidentally sending the daughter what his lawyer described as an inadvertent disclosure that was not meant for the child. They said there was some accidental communication where there was something sent, and then
GG's. That nigga sent the dick, bro. I'm not gonna lie. What exactly is the title of this situation? The disturbing case of Kyle Massey.
Right after it was, that wasn't for you type of situation, but that was it. Besides that, Kyle does...
Yo, son, why is Arc Raiders emailing me? What do you mean Arc Raiders is emailing you?
Have a somewhat decent defense here. The mother claims Kyle met her daughter when she was 4. Well, how else would he meet a 4-year-old? Not online, that's for sure. Kyle claims that the mother pursued him, groomed him to be her partner and a father figure to the child when he was also underage, which is not that hard to believe considering the countless horror stories we have heard from previous Disney and Nickelodeon stars. So yeah, it is possible that some crazy lady saw Kyle Massey, a 15-year-old Disney star, and decided to groom him and think, oh, he's probably rich and loaded and we're gonna have a family one day. It's possible. Regardless of that, Kyle initially said this entire situation was baseless extortion, then admits that he was not only communicating with this minor consistently over the course of many years, but also admitting to sending explicit material to that child, but just trying to say it was an accident and intended for the mother. So even in this messy case that's full of he said, she said, there's still an admission that something happened that never should have happened in the first place. But it's been 5 years since he received this charge, and the case...
Y'all think if it was an accident, he tried to send the meat pic to the... Nah, actually, it couldn't have been an accident because the mother don't have Snapchat, because he added the daughter or the underage girl, and then he was talking to the underage girl and sent her explicit pics. I thought it was going to be like... I thought of, okay, let's just say if it was genuinely an accident, maybe he tried to send the dick pic to the mom, but it went to the daughter. But nah, there's no way you make a mistake like that.
against Massey hasn't been resolved, and an outcome has not been confirmed. During this time, Kyle continued to flood his Instagram with pictures of him hanging out with celebrities, rappers, and internet influencers, although he didn't post much with his longtime buddy Bieber. It seemed like he had developed enough friendships in LA or maintained just enough fame to be in the mix with new stars, but his career was far from thriving. He struggled to get anything more than an extra role on a low-budget film. He did secure a recurring role on a 2021 sitcom called Millennials that was canceled after 2 seasons. But after these allegations hit, he has not had a job in Hollywood, and he hasn't posted on social media in years. However, his old co-star Orlando Brown was not going to let him forget about what he did.
Oh, Kyle, did you go to court yet, nigga?
Damn.
For showing your dick to that 14-year-old? Because you'll never be me, nigga.
Damn.
You need to go to court first and handle your problems and fix the things you do with your little dick. Okay?
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, this nigga Orlando Brown, bro.
These days, the only time you see Kyle on the internet is the occasional podcast, but I
This
also
brother is
noticed
the
that
Joker.
he drops music
Gotta be,
consistently
bro.
but doesn't tell anyone about it or promote it. One of his more recent songs was called Trumpet, which was a celebration song for Donald Trump being re-elected.
I can't lie, they want that trumpet. You know the vibes. Uh-oh, Joe Biden.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, who let this nigga in the booth, gang?
Kyle Massey was another Disney kid who grew up inside a machine that rewarded fame before maturity, and as a result, he led a life where he failed to grow up at best and
That's
committed
sad,
horrific
bro.
crimes against children at worst. Whether Kyle Massey was failed by the system, the people around him, or his own decisions, the result is the same. A once childhood icon's reputation is now permanently destroyed. The craziest part is the same thing happened to his That's So Raven co-star Orlando Brown, who suffered one of the most obscure downfalls we have ever seen. But
It's like, bro, I feel bad for like childhood stars like that's in the Nickelodeon Disney XD space, because it's like once you're a childhood star and like you're in that space, it's hard for you to get like an acting career like outside of like the Nickelodeon, or like to get people to see you as like a real actor instead of like a kid actor that puts on like, you know what I'm saying, certain gimmicks or whatever, bro. Like I genuinely